The difference between us is that I can feel pain.
Sounds like a real boogeyman watching Freddy's coming for you.
Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy.
There's someone else in the hotel with us. There's a crazy woman in one of the rooms.
It's got a death curse.
This isn't science. It's more like black magic.
Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
Hey everybody. It's
And we're back.
your pals Travis and Dawson.
We got in here.
Dawson's getting right to the chase. Welcome to Pumpkinhillradio, everybody.
Seeing stuff, I'm tinkering around.
We just
There's nothing on the walls for me to look at.
Yeah, we got
only what's in front of me.
Our partner Dubby sent us some energy drink, whatever. I should have got the thing exactly what it is, but
Perfect. It's nice. Kind of like a.
it's that orange cream flavor.
Nice.
But what I did,
It's a nice milky.
what I've done to this is instead of regular purified water, I used an orange LaCroix.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, just to
I was a little nervous with how like cloudy and white it looks.
Oh, it comes out
what you
cloudy.
might have done with it.
Yeah. Thanks, W.
Ooh, that's nice. The cream, the orange. If it was just orange, it maybe would be too much. The cream really.
The
like,
cream,
cream-
it tampers
I need
down
a-
the acidity on the back end. And you're like,
Need a
I'm not always one to
the
go
tartness.
for I'm not an Orange Julius cat either.
Nah.
Because they just sent it random. It was like a random box.
But I'm a big cream soda kind of guy though.
Yeah,
Root beer float kind of guy.
I was
I like an orange soda float.
I was pleasantly surprised with this
This
flavor.
is nice.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out
So
Dubby. Thanks,
I
Dubby.
mixed a spoonful or a cap and a half in because I figured we're both having it. So.
Yeah, I mean we've been talking about Dubby for weeks now, and
Yeah, they're getting
thanks Dubby.
shout out right at the front now.
Nice,
They got to step
good
up.
ass shit.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, besides that, Dobby,
Sweet.
thanks for that. This is Pumpkinhill Radio. I'm your host, Travis Wormwood. Got my co-host Dawson Trailer in the building with me today. Got a few things I wanted to try on.
All right, what we got?
I wanted to say the round mound of pound Dawson Trailer.
Round mound a pound. That's
Yeah,
me.
yeah. And I
I like
also said
that.
second chair in the studio, first chair in my heart.
I like that.
You know, I think at one point I planned on these being like kind of like things I would say more naturally, but I did since they're just written out.
Yeah, I like trying these out. I like trying them out. I like hearing that.
Vin Diesel did like a thing in the 90s where he was playing with these like action figure sharks, and he has like lines for all of them when he's like one of them is describing as like the round mound of pound.
I like that.
That's cool.
That's a cool name. Round mound of pound.
I was also thinking we could be the Brothers Pumpkin.
Brothers Pumpkin. I like that. Kind
Yeah.
of like the Brothers Gibb, but Brothers Pumpkin. I like that.
You got anything?
I mean,
This is
dude. I've been
so
gone for a week.
Yeah, you've been gone. Before this, we had a series of interviews.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to take a load. I wanted to kick my feet up this time. I got some
we're
things
just
to talk
hanging
about. A lot of
I mean-
times with the interviews, it was like just getting them down to like seeing where they're at and talking about their stories. And I just feel like I have a
man.
lot to talk about. Or
Well, I mean, dude, my last week was nice. I explored the mountains, the old Rocky Mountains a bit.
with your parents.
My parents, that was really nice. I went to a wedding. I had like a really nice, because I was just kind of in the car with my parents. Like we were just driving everywhere, and we would just stop at these little mountain towns. And I like started thinking about them, and I'm like, because they all popped up around the same time.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my imagination, my theories. I just was building up, just like, because I was like hanging out. We were smoking weed. I was like sharing a hotel room with my parents, and they both snore a lot.
Great.
So like I had to get really, really high, and they would just pass out right away. So I was kind of just like going outside in these like little mountain towns myself in the middle of the night, smoking weed, just kind of looking at stuff, getting spooked out, thinking about things, and so they all pop up in like the late 1800s. They're all like mining towns.
Yep.
Turned to like tourist towns.
They're made before any government was out here.
And like, so my thing is, I'm like looking around, and there's like, obviously there's a lot of money that runs through those towns. Okay, that makes sense. But there's like these old mansions and these like weird, like almost like castle like houses everywhere in these mountains. And I'm like looking at them, and like, I think I was just like out there, and like the lights were on in one, and everything else was kind of like off. It was all like dark, and I'm like, okay. So here's the idea: is like these mountain towns were founded by like vampires.
Mm-hmm. The founding vampires.
The founding vampires
of
the West. So yeah, the cowboy vampires of the West.
Yeah.
Is kind of what's going on here in my mind, because like it's, I don't know, I don't even know how to articulate this, but like
there's a presence, and it's an old presence.
There's an energy. There's like vibes going on. There's like always some like, I don't know, either like something, there's like a fire that burns everything down in the town at one point, and then it's rebuilt. And I'm like, okay, so like, these are like tiny little towns too. And I'm like, okay, so there's people that have been here the whole time, I think.
Yep.
And they like,
his families.
well, there are these tourists that just come through, and like enough tourists come through, a couple people go missing every now and then.
Yeah, who knows?
Feed the vampires. That's
They
like
got lost. They got lost hiking.
Yeah, and it's like how they like lure people in.
Bear got him.
It's like, oh, there's an avalanche.
Yeah. It's
Oh, he's missing.
There's
Oh, he's a missing person in a national forest.
Yeah, it's the missing 411. There's 1,000
That's like what, yeah.
fucking excuses as to why you're not going to find somebody that's like up in the fucking rock.
And like, because the missing 411 like leans towards I feel like at least in what I've seen, it like leans more towards like a Bigfoot kind of a thing.
You're just looking. Well,
I'm thinking more vampire.
Yeah, I think it's any.
They're hiding in plain sight as like these like weird elites that like hide in these like big houses that no one ever really seems to like.
Yeah. It's a different side of it. I don't think it's, you're not going to find that kind of theory in like a missing 411 book. No. But it is like, it's another side of it. Just the stuff that
might have just been like my first exposure to it.
It's just like, you know,
it's some sort of something. There's monsters out there. And I think some of them might be hidden in plain sight. Whether it's like an actual vampire or like some other thing, or just a wickedness in humans that are out there. Like, so I mean, we've talked about how like copper and like these metals like can trap things. They can like attract certain things, heighten certain things.
Spirits love copper.
We're sitting out here, and these are like there's like gold, silver, copper, nickel, like all these like precious metals.
You're sitting on crystals. Well, you're talking.
And I'm sitting in these hot springs, just looking around, and I'm thinking, I think there's vampire. Like that was like where my heart felt. I'm like, there's vampires out here.
Well, even at the Stanley Hotel, there's like a spiral staircase, and like right below that, like in the mountain, there's like a giant quartz deposit. Yeah, and like, you know, you can say whatever like wooey woo shit, but like,
nah, that's
you get enough crystals beneath
that, man.
Beneath something. I swear to God, that's not going to do anything good. Like that.
No, you're gonna feel nuts.
It's gonna be great. I mean, it might do something great too, but it's.
I think there's a balance to it. You gotta get That's why you gotta be an
it's
optimist.
Like honestly, the coasts of America are old enough. But like the middle parts of America, like the West and stuff, that is just besides like the random big cities. There's just so much area that can be unexplored.
It's so spread out. Well, that's something I thought. I remember driving through like New Mexico and like Nevada, and there's mountains, and you look at these mountains, and like I don't know. I'm just thinking like if you poured like sand or dirt over pyramids, it'd maybe make a lot of these similar shapes. And I'm like, and there's no way people have like excavated and like went and explored all of that to make sure they're not pyramids.
Oh yeah,
there's no way like you can explore all that.
Well, they just now, I feel like I was watching stuff on the History Channel like 5 years ago now. They just now are figuring out how to do they'll fly like a drone over something, and it'll have like the seismic radar. It can actually go down there. But that's still such new technology, and that still only penetrates so deep.
And it takes so long. That's like, these are like vast. These are hundreds of miles wide. You know, like.
Yeah, you're talking about unexplored terrain.
Yeah, that like people drive through all the time.
Yeah.
You see it in everything. It's like, well, that's just like a desert. It's like, man, I don't know. Might be a lot of crazy things buried in that sand out there and that dirt.
Yeah. This is all sort of an America-centered idea, I think.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, that's honestly, the thing is, like, if we just expand that to the entire world, like there's so much shit hiding everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. If it's anywhere, it's everywhere. Yeah. You know.
Spooky.
That's just like some of the thoughts I was having driving through the mountains. I visited a volcano.
Which one?
So there's 2 volcanoes. They're not active anymore, but
as far as we know,
it's like I mean that's what they thought about Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, maybe.
Shit, you know. Hey. Yeah. But what is it? It's called Round Top and Red Mountain. And then like, because we were driving, we like went there, we like saw it, was pulled over, like looked at it, like read a little thing about it. And we're like, wow, that was interesting. Because we like didn't really have a plan on what we were doing. We were just kind of driving from city to city and just like eventually find a spot and we'd like stay there.
Dude, fucking,
it was awesome.
Speaking of, I think maybe I'm thinking of Mount Vesuvius, wherever a bunch of people got fucking, they were standing up and just essentially got turned into
like
ash.
Pompeii.
But there was, Pompeii, I think. But there's a word for it. I think I have saved in my notes somewhere. But it was one of the only times in history where we have been able to look at, it was something, the heat was so intense coming off that thing that their brains turned to glass.
Yeah.
There's a term for that. There shouldn't be a term for that, because I don't even like that.
That shouldn't be happening.
Sitting around as a term, but the idea of a brain turning into glass is, I mean, is that just what happened to like the crystal skulls then almost? I don't want to, that's something, and those have been kind of thrown around as whatever. I assume the original ones are not, even if they are real, the ones that we are being able to study are definitely not the real ones. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that right now.
Well, there's the real ones, there's like the like legends of them that like are gone, you know, it's like, but anyway, we saw these like volcanoes, and then you know, we drive for a couple more hours, stop at a spot, and we're like, yeah, they're like, we stopped at a hotel. The hotel manager's like asking what we're doing in town, and you know, just like usual like small talk, and we're like, yeah, we just went and saw like these volcanoes. He's like, oh yeah, if you like keep going like 60 more miles like away from it, there's like all these rocks, and it's from those volcanoes.
Oh,
so like these volcanoes like launched like huge boulders, like size of a house kind of shit, dude. Like 100 miles. And that's like what like some of those fucking rocks are.
Imagine just taking a walk out there and like,
it is a violent time.
Your son's behind you and your son just disappears and there's now a rock instead.
Yeah, there's just
like, it's too
a rock that you like step outside your house and all of a sudden you turn around, there's just a rock there, the same size.
This is like whatever 3,000 years ago or something. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's anyone there. I think it was just like a nasty mess.
Yeah, probably just like a bison. It's probably just like a buffalo that has got totally rocked. Literally.
Oh yeah. It's probably at the bottom of it. There's probably like a cool fossil.
How are you feeling about this music playing? It's been a long time. I thought it would.
It's pretty smooth.
Ease me into stuff here. Let's.
I'm liking it.
A little more heavy now.
There we go.
Cool. Damn, you got a lot going on. Anything else?
Yeah, dude.
I'll just keep on making you dry. I got notes for days.
Yeah, I got like I don't know. This is just my like week update.
Oh, can I say quick? We mentioned the interviews. I wanted to say thank you to Maudlin and Kane Shreds, Kane and Sharon.
Those guys rule.
Yeah, both those interviews went really well. So thanks for coming on. We'll have you on at some point again.
We'll get back to it. My sister just like stumbled upon the cast too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out.
She follows on TikTok. Red Temple on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty low key about what I do with my family, as far as like artistic shit. But like, she was like, I just like was scrolling through TikTok, and all of a sudden I just heard my brother's voice.
Yeah, that's good.
I was like, nice. Like, well, I was like, give it,
I think I posted
rate
something
it and
about
subscribe if you want.
I posted something about shouting out some folks that did like, and so I'll subscribe to that. So
yeah,
she was one of them.
Shouts out to Natalie.
Shouts out to Natalie.
My sister.
Shouts out Shelby. She said, "What's up?"
What up, Shelby?
There's a couple people that were just like random accounts. I got next week. You coming up?
Yeah, let's go.
Damn, nice middle of the pod shout out section.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. That made me laugh.
Dude, season 2 is so cool.
Yeah, dude, season 2's rules.
It's one of my notes.
I'm gonna do it. I'm having a good ass time with season 2. It's bigger, better than ever.
Do you mind if I pull you away from this? We can jump back in.
I don't need to talk about my weekend.
No, anymore. I don't mind it. This is good stuff. This is just an article I just screen capped. I wanted to talk about. I wanted to get in the trenches as fast as possible and just start talking about suicide stuff, just to like really get the people to stop listening. Okay, so Dawson.
So a Dutch woman.
Now let's be tame about this. I don't want to be throwing anything, but basically this article says physically healthy Dutch woman, I'm not going to say her name, dies by euthanasia, age 29, due to severe mental health struggles.
I just turned 29.
I'm in that boat. So because now, so some places, this is in Deutschland. This is over. Some of those European places have pretty insane healthcare stuff, and this is like I don't know if it's one of those pods. You've seen those pods where you get in and it's just like, I don't know. I guess it just like Soylent Greens you or something. Just totally just does you in. I don't know. How do you feel? I'm gonna open the floodgates a little bit and just like, how does this make you feel? So this chick was not physically in harm. She is 29.
Yeah. She looks nice.
She looks like a. I mean,
she looks like a nice.
The most depressed people definitely just look like that like weird
Just,
like
yeah,
blank happiness. But like even so, like I don't know.
But I also this is externally judging.
No, I know that's all we can do. This was a very this headline fucking got me though. And by the way, I tried to dig in further, and the entire article is in Dutch, and my computer refused to translate it.
That's a tough one to translate. So. It's not a big language. Well, yeah. So this is my opinion on the whole this kind of thing, where it's like, I think people should be free to do whatever they want to do. Morally, that doesn't mean I like agree with it necessarily.
I just
but
feel
it's
like
I don't think I would disagree more in not letting people do what they need to do.
I agree with that. I agree. These are all the
that's
thoughts.
my morality.
These are all just
own,
like visceral thoughts. It's hard. You read this and you're like, what the fuck is this?
I can only go from like my own perspective.
Now,
but if I'm gonna put myself in someone else's perspective, it's like if they wanted to suicide, then like obviously that's what they want to do.
I want to
like,
support whatever. My side of it is just like, does like the health service industry need to get involved with that? People have been killing themselves just fine just since man arrived on planet Earth. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like the minute that we're is that a tax thing, by the way? Was that like a
well, that's
you know what I mean? Like, am I paying for somebody to kill himself now? Because it's like, buddy,
what do we? Because like doctors supposedly they have to like take an oath and shit too.
Mm-hmm.
At least
these are done in like weird like I don't want to call it like a holistic play, but this is done by like not sketchy doctors, but there's doctors that like
they're not like
it's like how
they haven't taken like that vow or whatever. You know,
there are some like quote unquote medical facilities that are more just for like.
That's why the death sentence is kind of weird because they like doctors can't do it.
No, that's all fucked up. It's just like some.
So
dude.
they have just like another prisoner or a guard, and
it's just like, some dude that doesn't know what they're doing.
They're like get told how to do it, and then like maybe
go
they fuck up.
wrong so often they don't even make it in the news. But
messy.
it's just like injecting different levels of poison.
It's way worse than electrocuting or just shooting.
And it's just like
hanging someone.
The feeling of like having different poisons injected to you at different times feels like not. I don't know. That's not the way to do it.
No, it's like a nightmare.
At least with the lightning, you get a chance of what? What does lightning do? Give you superpowers?
Yeah.
Maybe you turn into Danny Phantom.
Maybe you just like your soul travels through that lightning and electric current, and then you just spread through the web. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we are coming off a hot watch of Madam Web. If you haven't seen it, check out Netflix. I won't say any more. But I got some other articles. This one was just like I'm gonna read it again. A physically healthy Dutch woman dies by euthanasia, age 29, due to severe mental health struggles. I don't want to be anyone to judge anything because I feel like we all. But it's like, I don't know. It's hard to even. Jesus.
Yeah, I see an article like this, and it raises a lot of flags too because it's almost comes off as like an advertisement as well.
I know.
It's like a campaign.
No,
this looks like an ad. This looks
like you're saying, like it's like it can't be done by like an actual doctor. Like it is as a company. Like it is an ad.
That's the thing. It's like, so are we privatizing suicide?
Like, did somebody like sort of nudge her in? Like, did somebody
suicide?
at this company or something like maybe nudge her this direction? Be like, hey, we got a nice safe capsule for you to just go to bed forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey,
instead of like working out issues and like growing.
She's 29. Like when by the time
that's
she was
so young.
By the time she's like 45, so many shit in her life's gonna change. Like I don't know. Not to say you should charge through 16 years of depression, but it's like, fuck. I feel like everybody that is our age has charged through.
Well, the thing is, like,
years already.
My whole theory in suicide too, as like someone who's like really thought about it, and like just like
exactly, that's what I mean. I feel like
you have to come to the point where it's like, death is gonna happen no matter what. So you might as well just like. Why rush it?
Yeah. Well, it's that classic like,
and it's like I guess if it's just agonizing, like I get that, then I can't. I guess I don't really understand it to that point.
It's just severe mental health, Dawson. It's not a physical thing. So it's like I know that can be gruesome to bear. Like I know the cost of mental health is just as damaging as physical, but there are. I feel like maybe. It's like it's not like it's a cancer where there's not a cure. Like there is things, and there's not there's not a tried and true cure for depression, but there's so many ways to deal with it. There's literally I mean, you could read books till the end of time about how to cure it that are all different. Like and it's like it's gonna be different for each person. So it's like maybe if she just had like literally if you just like I don't want to fuck this is fucked up to say. What if you just like put this chick in like a prison, not like a health prison for like a year where she was just like I don't know. This is becoming like Big Brother shit, or like this reminds me of like 1984 shit, where it's like read this book. Like what do we peel her eyes back and make her look at happy things?
Like a Clockwork Orange
but like
kind of
fuck,
thing.
Dude, I don't know.
It's like.
It's a strange thought experiment that I just wanted to. It's like literally we've both had close people that like have straight up committed suicide, and it's like
no, exactly.
I don't know if I was anywhere because if that person comes to me with that thought, the thought, then my thing is that I'm going to try to stop it. I'm not going to try to find them the most pleasant way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not going to pull the trigger.
Is all of her family on board? It's like none of them thought that maybe they could pull her out of this after a little while. Like I don't know. I don't know anything about her. And again, I couldn't read anything in the article.
Yeah, well, the thing is like, is it like a mental health issue where like physically she's fine, but like in her mind, like she's experiencing like physical pain?
That's true.
Like
I
don't know, like
a ghost pain.
Yeah, because that is a thing where people are just in constant agony and they're like every day is living hell.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm burning.
Like
alive
sometimes
constantly.
like a sort of PTSD that is like just like
or like like for some reason something breaks in your brain and you can't sleep anymore, so you're just losing your mind anyway. Like there's a lot of shit I guess where it's like okay, but like man, I don't know, man. Human life is a precious thing. Oh shit.
And other news. Texas Chainsaw Massacre turned 50 this year.
There we go. That's good news. Congratulations.
Just to quickly veer off that, because I feel like we can talk about that forever.
Yeah,
but again,
I can just...
We're extrapolating from one headline in a different language. So,
That's cool, though.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw back at 50.
Damn.
Did you see the most recent one on Netflix from like 2018? Just
No.
called, I think it's just called Texas Chainsaw. It's fucking good.
Nice.
There's a scene where there's like a
classic.
party bus that everybody's like having like drinking and like dancing on. It's like
yeah.
crazy flashing lights and shit. And like, you know, like he gets on and like you can't really get out. Like there's kind of an area in the back to get, but everybody kind of piles up there. So he's just going through this chainsaw and like it's like and the crowd is just so thick and they literally can't move. So he's just dicing through like it's intense. It's
chopping wood.
It is pretty grisly. It's pretty grisly. There's one scene where one of the girl, like there's a chick trying to get out of the bus and like she's like halfway out of the window and like like the front half just like slides out of the window because like she just got the back half cut off. Anything you want to say about Texas Chainsaw?
Classic, terrifying, based off of some real shit though, right?
Isn't that Hills Have Eyes? I think they're up.
Maybe that's
I don't know. Well, no, that's Buffalo Bill, right? That's like talking about like, is that real?
I think that's
I should be more.
Well, because I think Buffalo Bill and like that was
what I'm
almost...
I'm gonna study this and I'm gonna come back in post and put it right here.
Yeah, right there. All right, cool.
And we're back.
All right.
No,
well, because I think it's
no way to do that.
I'm pretty sure it's like a well, because Ed Gein wasn't in Texas and he didn't use a chainsaw, but it has that like using human skin for shit.
It's definitely
human skin.
It's just stuff. It was one of the very earliest like proto slasher that it came out. Whatever it was, I guess 74. Is that true? It must be 74 if it's 50. Wow. So I mean that was before all the even gimmicky slashers. So it was just pulling from real cases. It's like what is horrible. Let's look at these fucking.
What do these people do?
I don't know how popular was. I mean, people love serial killers forever. So it was popular back then. You know what else was new this week? Furiosa, Mad Max. Saga came out this week. Did not see it yet. I want to.
Either. It looks
good.
Looks good.
Yeah, Anya Taylor.
Joy.
Yeah, I don't know. She's there. She's the titular Furiosa.
ATJ.
I want to see it. I want to see it. That sounds good. I want to go back and I want to watch the other like 4 of them though. First.
I wouldn't mind seeing like the original.
Ooh,
watch those ones.
I
remember watching those as a kid. It was like my dad's favorite movie.
Dude, the very first one is pretty interesting because it's not even like the quote unquote Mad Max aesthetic. It's not. It's like it's even proto that. Like it's very. It's weird.
I remember. I really remember watching.
We'll watch that and we'll come back to it. I had a plan. Remember there was Max. I don't know. I named each month and one of them was
Mad Max or Mad March Maxness or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. March Madness.
March Mad Maxness. Yeah.
Kind of based off March Madness, which I don't know anything about.
Is that college basketball?
Yeah.
I think it's college basketball.
Anyway, so we'll revisit that in probably late summer or something. And then I saw an article, The Last Ronin, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin. I actually don't have the book back anymore, but it's what do they call those? It's a graphic novel of a TMNT, universe in the future, and it's kind of like the last turtle running around with all their weapons and stuff. Anyway, there's talks of a movie, an R-rated movie. That would be with that going on. That's cool. I like honestly,
dude. If you're gonna reboot shit from like my childhood, like make it like adult and like R-rated. Make it gnarly. Let it evolve with all the fucking bullshit I've seen.
I did it did seem like such a clickbaity article or like something that was like based on like stuff that I've searched though. So I did have to search like 3 other places. Like I think it's real. I'm pretty sure I've seen enough links, but I was like, what the hell?
That's tight. No. I mean, I hope it's we'll will it into an existence here.
Mm-hmm. Please.
Start looking it up, everybody, and the search terms will make it a reality.
Yeah. Like I saw like definitely an AI generated picture of it that was somebody was using as like a movie poster, and I was like, that guy's that way too.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like if we're getting into a way where if you like AI generate stuff and like just start rumors of like some sort of thing happening on the internet.
Oh yeah,
it's like a
that's like
internet manifestation.
Create it.
Yeah, it's like a way to like get the human collective to like manifest something through the internet.
That's not wrong.
That's just a weird.
That's almost.
I'm thinking weird shit, but
that's fine.
That kind of happens, right? That's just like popularity. I don't know.
I think that just is what happens all the time. Yeah, it's just trending. That's just what like popularity is.
That's cool. I think you just throw cool like words like neo web manifestation.
Watch it with the term neo.
Trending. It's yeah.
Unless you're talking about the Matrix.
Neo,
buddy.
The Chosen.
Where do you want to go from here? You want to talk about sky trumpets or sacred clowns?
Dude.
These are both going to take hours.
Dude, we can get into sacred clowns, man.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
These are all just like disparate notes. This is basically a spattering of notes.
Yeah. What do you got? Tell me what you got about it.
So off the top, when I first got me into this was when I was learning about some of the stuff I was just re-upping my knowledge on the underwater panther and thunderbirds and the like Native American like Ojibwe type lore, those old myths. And basically there's these people that would be associated with thunderbirds called that you would be, I have the term around here. It's literally like thunder touch. It's very cool. You basically get like, you have a vision and then you refrain from doing everything normally. You basically become this exaggeration of life. Like this was like an indigenous person doing this like in their tribe or whatnot. So it was pretty intense. Like
that sounds almost like a type of shaman or
something. So they're called like crazy shamans. I have different like terms for them all over here, but it's like
comedic shaman.
It's all there's tons of different and I found first it was off the back of that where it's like these people that are doing everything kind of backwards in society, which now it's like turns into like a punk culture basically nowadays or like this like this.
Well, it's that like energy that rebellious like trickster shit, you know.
So that's what it got down to, but they have but they be treated as shamans basically.
Fuck.
I don't know. I got like I can cut this up if it sounds fucking stupid. I mean I can do okay, well so it tied actually into I know we were talking about there's these pictures of the striped clowns and jesters from like Native American lore, but also some around the world. They're all kind of mixed in there too. I guess
I know there's like South American and like African tribes that like they're like that was like their thing. They'd like paint themselves like black and white striped. I also know there's like depictions of like Nephilim and stuff. They're like talked to be like they have like orange hair, like the like big orange hair. They're like big and it basically like almost describes like what a clown looks like. I don't know.
No, that's
and then What was it? Also one. You into also one?
Yeah, that weird alien from a couple weeks ago.
And then like there's like with that story you talked about the
Sandown Clown. These like, weird, bizarre beings. And then when you pull up these pictures of those compared to some of these things from like ancient tribes, not even ancient tribes, fucking tribes like 400 years ago.
Yeah, man.
It's like
then you tie it into like movies like It. It's like there's like some truth to It.
Yeah,
that's like a real thing. And so I think that like those are like that's like whatever some sort of like angel or demon kind of a thing. They're like supposed to be scary, but like as like a culture we like train kids to like think like it's like a kid's like thing to like laugh at, and that keeps it because if you laugh in a demon's face, they're powerless. It's agonizing to them. They can't be. They like hate being like humiliated or whatever. Yeah. So that's like what it is. You like see a clown, it's like honk honk. You're like it's a clown and it can't hurt you. So that's how you like protect your children from these like entities. And then when we were growing up though, this was like I'm talking like when like clowns first became like circus clowns and shit. And then when we were growing up, it was like clowns were scary to us.
Yeah, by the time even
Clowns
like
are terrifying.
The family fun fair back in like elementary school, I recall there was like some clowns or some crap, and it was like
Remember never
Don't need
liking
that.
clowns that like
Don't need
they were
that.
like being parades and shit. I'm like, no, don't like that.
And now at this point, I've like wrapped fully around to just liking them again, just because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like weird to like them, probably.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think it's just
accept it.
silly.
Yeah.
Like, nice, these guys are silly. Same with like mimes. I'm like, these guys are silly.
So they all. I wish I had on my Wikipedia tabs from a couple weeks ago with all this stuff. But so
Yeah.
this was. So going to the different side of the fucking globe. So this
Alright,
was talking
alright.
about the. So this is about a mad Zen monk, right? With the term mad Zen, like that doesn't even
Mad
make
Zen,
sense.
dude.
So his name is Mori, Mori. So this is like. They're just like stories, but they're also like written down. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
almost like it's like a Jesus tale. Is he real?
So
Well, who
yeah,
knows?
some sort
See,
of like
he was this guy,
legend.
and we briefly talked about it a week ago. But he was a monk, but he did not refrain from sex. He was not he was not celibate. He wouldn't want any part of
he
that.
went his own way.
He went his own way, and I feel like that just let him down. Like so, then it led him into this. Eventually, he's in this brothel, and he finds this geisha, right?
Yeah.
Fucking okay. This is what it says. There's a quote that says, "Found him dancing with a bunch of skeletons instead of being entertained by dancers and geisha." So this is the girl that finds him. It occurred to her that he may not be an ordinary human being. She then became his disciple and achieved enlightenment.
So
All right, so this was from 1672. So I'm trying to like wrap this back around into an actual storytelling, whatever.
yeah.
But like this is a Zen monk, a mad Zen monk who just went totally against the grain, and then went so far as to take on a disciple in this same manner. But the disciple was this geisha chick who I feel like they didn't have a lot of like women fucking Zen monks back then. Just like without doing any research, just knowing how the world works, I kind of doubt it. So that's very interesting right there. And then this chick, this girl that he takes on, this geisha, she goes on to be known as like, oh my God, if I could, what did I call her last week? She's like this like devil person. She becomes this like, just typing that in.
Because I also
Jesus.
think, okay, so he like dances with skeletons rather than like human being, like living people.
Yeah.
Which is like, so like he's like a necromancer, or like, he like reanimate things, or he can like, bring things, like put energy into certain things, soul, whatever. Or that's like a metaphor for like something else, where he was like,
Ooh.
I don't know what exactly it would be, but it could be like a metaphor, like dancing with skeletons. That's like a way of saying like he like hangs out with people that are like dying, or like already dead. He's like kind of like a.
He's like he's
like a
spirit medium, or he's
like a Dr. Sleep guy.
Yeah.
He's maybe like a Dr. Sleep kind of guy.
I'm not finding the same articles.
Yeah.
I just want to find the one, what they called her. It was just a cool fucking name.
Yeah.
Whatever. More on this later.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll come back. I'll be a correction corner.
It will be. It just tied back into the that like the path of, it's called the sacred clown path. It's like going against the grain. Yeah, being a mad Zen monk, being this fucking fool, this enlightened fool. The like it goes back into even tarot stuff, like fucking the fool.
Man.
I don't
No,
know.
it's because that doesn't mean like dumb or like stupid or like this or that. It's like, man, that there's like a power to that, and that's like something. It's something I've heard of recently. Is it's called like mirth. Where it's like basically what I was explaining with like where you like, laugh in a demon's face. You laugh at the devil kind of a thing, or like at like the darkness. At the void. You like learn to like find humor in it.
Go full
Then
out.
then you like you can control it. Then you have power over it. Where if you're like scared and like cower, then like it can
takes
possess
you
you,
over.
takes you over, and it's like that's like this like constant battle of like. That's why you gotta like laugh at shit. That's why things are funny. I don't know. But that's kind of what I like, that fucking the mad Zen fool monk kind of makes me think of at this point.
It
but-
just it kind of ties into, even then you get like stuff like Loki, this like
Yeah,
this
no,
figure
it's
from
the same
this like trickster thing.
It's like a certain archetype that's like really complex.
Which then,
though.
okay, so here's one little thing I said. Okay, so like speaking of Loki, who is this like ancient fire deity, as we've kind of uncovered, the Ojibwe, their death ceremonies, they would bury a body and then they would leave food out beside it for a 4-day journey, and they would keep a fire going by it the entire time. And then the smoke from that fire, the spirit would follow the smoke up, and then that's the path. Apparently 4 days of smoke like gets you there. Like that's like that path up, but that's what they would take. So someone would have to keep the fire going at all times.
4 days.
Which then like I don't know, that ties it back. Yeah, it's like this weird like Lokiism. This like how like this like trickster god also is this like ultimate truth kind of.
Yeah.
This like weird. It's weird. Like this like this enlightened fool. Like the less you know, the better. But also, like you never know. You're just never gonna know.
You never really know what the real intention is.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Fuck.
Or maybe you will, but that means you're dead.
And that
means
kind
it
of
got you.
Back into like our Greek study a little bit. Just like with Hades and even in like Norse cultures, like fucking they're until like you get to Christian stuff. There's not like separate places in the death zone. In the death, like there's no judgment. Like I said, that's a term. There's no like judgment in it.
Yeah.
Which seems like a Loki thing. Like Loki doesn't judge you, right?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I don't know.
I don't know. That shit. They're like old religions.
Yeah, the no judgment in that sense is like it's bizarre to even kind of think about because we've been so like Christianized.
Well, because it's like if you did bad things, that's like one thing, but like either it was like there's like certain things to do to get to like Valhalla, you know? It's like
there's
like you could have lived like a peaceful like you didn't hurt anybody, you didn't do anything really wrong, but like if you didn't die like a warrior, you're not going to Valhalla. You know, if you don't die like with honor. You know, it's all like
a little bit of judgment, maybe
a little bit of judgment, but I don't know if that's a judgment as much as like that's like a rule. You know, it's like here's like the guideline. Here's like the steps you need to take to get to this place.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't want to try
this vibration.
I'm not trying to say that like Christian shit like created like they created like demons and angels, but they didn't create like good and evil. Like that was obviously still there.
Yeah,
dude. Speaking of that, there's this old Babylonian fucking tablet called the Udug Hole, which means the evil. It's called the Evil Demons Tablet 11.
Okay.
If you just search that, it sounds like a fake thing. It's from this fucking Babylonian period from the 2000 fucking BC.
So like
this was used to fucking banish spirits and fucking sickness. And that's still in there. It's still in the British Museum too. Like it's still around. This crazy tablet. Okay. And by the way, we gotta just like if we just did a whole series on the British Museum, there's just every ancient. We got to go there and like, I don't know. If you go in there to say the right word, you definitely get enlightened in like 10 different religions. There's like enough.
If you like read out loud,
there's enough evil demons tablets.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
You
so
like that?
It's just a tablet that you read to banish fucking demons. And shit?
Doug. Oh, because this was when I was looking into like copper and like spirits and there's coin swords and like how you banish stuff. Here we go. The Udug Sumerian, also known as the Akkadian. Okay, so yeah, they were an ambiguous class of demons from ancient Mesopotamian mythology, and I said like Christianity created like devil. I don't know. They didn't create fucking. What the fuck did they make? I guess they didn't make shit. No, Christians just stole everything.
Yeah, they pretty much just.
That's correction corner right in the middle. Christians didn't create shit. They just rewrote some stuff.
They just like kept going in a different direction from like the Jewish.
Yeah, the Udug were different from the Dinger. Okay, and they were generally malicious. Even if a member of demon's word is generally ambiguous. So yeah, basically it's saying like the word demon doesn't mean like malicious necessarily.
Yeah.
It's just like an old word like fucking jinn or like, yeah. This is weird. This isn't even like, so the Udug Hole is the demon's tablet. So Udug means demon, Hole must mean tablet. Yeah, the surviving ancient Mesopotamian text gives instructions for exorcising the evil Udug. These are known as the Udug Hole texts. These texts emphasize the evil Udug's role in causing disease and the exorcist's role in curing the disease. All right, here. No visual representation of the Udug have yet been identified.
The descriptions ascribed to it features often given to other ancient Mesopotamian demons: a dark shadow, absence of light surrounding it, poison, and deafening voice. So.
Damn.
So you ever see shadows? You know, is that like sleep paralysis also? Because I've seen those.
Yeah, I guess we're getting into
to
these. These are actually old enough to create worldwide memories. These things from like 3000 BC, these actually would create like the memory, like the Hat Man type memories.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I don't know about the Hat Man because
I've never seen the Hat Man, but I've seen
these like
cloaked figures,
yeah.
you know, and like little gremlin kind of looking.
The fucking what were we calling those? Chaos gnomes.
Yeah, chaos gnomes.
Yeah.
Because it's like the smaller one I remember seeing, I almost like thought of it as like it's like a dark hobbit almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's how I remember because it had like clothes on.
Dude, chaos gnome.
And it was bizarre. And then the dark figure, I just remember seeing that, and that thing like talked like into my mind. It was talking to me in my head.
Is that when you were asleep?
Yeah, it was like asleep. It was a sleep paralysis.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I like remember couldn't move. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, fuck. That shit's scary as
I
hell.
haven't had that.
And then I remember, because I remember like I didn't know what it was. I didn't really know what sleep paralysis was. So then I figured out what it was, and I looked it up, and you see all these ancient art of sleep paralysis demons and what they do, and I'm like, oh, that's just so fucked up how I just saw that same thing.
Yeah.
I just saw that same thing without any other real reference to it, and I'm like, okay, what is that then? What is that?
I don't know.
Is that just a human mental experience that you just have sometimes, or
what the fuck were these Sumerians doing with these demon tablets? This is
why don't I have that? Why don't we just? Why is that not being spread out? Because it's demons aren't real. You can't prove demons exist, so this is just some weird belief these ancient people had. But it's well, maybe we just keep doing it just in case, though.
They're just bizarre. Okay, yeah, so
maybe we should just keep doing
the
it.
The canon of exorcism of the evil Udug, so the story, how they chronologize the story of the exorcism of the evil Udug is known as the Udug Hole. Yeah, we were talking about that. Mm-hmm. This is the Akkadian expansion of which is in 16 tablets. Okay, there's 16 of these things. Damn. The tradition of the Udug Hole incantation spans the entirety of ancient Mesopotamian history. They are among the earliest texts known written in Sumerian in the third millennium BCE, so 3000 BC, so over 5,000 years ago.
Holy shit!
Yeah, as well as among the last.
So long ago.
Yeah, written. So these were written in literally fucking cuneiform, and then they were translated into Greek.
Yeah.
Cuneiform is old as fuck. They were originally unilingual and written in Sumerian, but these earliest versions were later converted into bilingual texts. Yeah.
Akkadian, dude, crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm seeing at the bottom Inanna's descent into the underworld. I think I want to just probably read that.
Okay, so first off, Inanna is the ancient. I love how it's already been clicked.
Yeah, you've been there.
It's the ancient Mesopotamian goddess of love, war, and fertility. So she's got a lot. Sounds like a sounds like a real Athena to me.
Seems like love, war, fertility are three parts of a triangle, a certain type of triangle.
The Triforce.
Yeah.
She was the queen of heaven. Nice.
Ooh.
Well, okay, so she becomes fucking. She gets turned into Ishtar, and then she's in the Bible a little bit, basically.
Yeah.
This is this is sort of the queen of heaven. Yeah, this is God's consort, which is.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Where do we want it? Let's
Nineveh, dude. Nineveh.
I know. We're just
fuck.
we're putzing around this yeah, here we go. Yeah, fucking even 4000 BCE.
Her mount is a lion. Oh,
dude, yeah, that's a real Athena if I have
Venus, planet Venus, nice.
Dude, okay. So this actually just today I was
How have I not ever heard this lady?
Dude, you have, because this is depictions of her. You know those carvings of those thick ladies?
Yeah.
Those clay statues that are found in multiple places around the world.
Yeah,
They're actually found they're found in multiple cultures and stuff. They all look like this, basically the same supremely fat lady.
Yeah.
She's that's a fertility shrine. That's a fertility thing too, sort of. But honestly, do I have my phone in here? Because I was taking Maybe I was taking notes or just like I think I was taking screenshots of like just what the hell is going on here. All right, I'm just gonna read a little quote from 4chan. Many ancient religions speak of a previous generation of elder gods banished by the current gods, and very often these elder gods will have a matriarch, sometimes responsible for the creation of the world. Often through their deaths, be it the Titans, Marduk, and Tiamat, Yahweh, and Azura, etc. Some theorize that this may be in reference to a pre-agricultural religion, in some cases a matriarchal one, usually a brutal one involving menstrual blood that went by the wayside as men moved from the caves to the fields.
Damn.
So this was like maybe even before this Inanna. I'm thinking that those little ancient like carvings might be some kind of precursor god, which is like just bizarre. Okay, here we go. So so this is again what I was just saying. She was the original, so not Inanna, but this little statue. Maybe I'll put a little link to something. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. They're everywhere now. That little statue was probably the original mother goddess, not to be confused with Inanna or Isis. But in her old age, she became associated with the cow, which actually is seen on those pots. That one pot that has Yahweh, or it was like an old depiction of God. And it has like her in the background as a little cow. Genesis 1:26 says, "Let us make man in our image." The Sumerian creation story tells us how man was created by Enki, his son Ningishzida, and his sister Ninharseg. The first human was gestated by Ninharseg. So the first human was created by God, if you want to get into weird Titan shit again. Following generations were gestated by a team of nurses. This was before the creation of the first woman.
Okay.
So this is just talking about an ancient mother goddess just creating just dudes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then Ninharseg, the mother goddess. I don't know, this chick. I feel like she might deserve more reverence.
Yeah.
She also then wept when mankind perished. When God made the flood. When fucking, what's his name? Enki. Or whatever this ancient depiction, like before Yahweh, there was even older ones. Yeah. But the mother goddess was pretty sad when Dad God fucking flooded everything and killed everyone that she ever made. She was like not happy about that. But I was we kind of got here in such a roundabout. I liked how these all just kind of came together anyway. So I would say, I don't know, who's your oldest god?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Because Inanna's close, being like a pretty old Sumerian, Mesopotamian like mother goddess back when there was like matriarchal gods.
Yeah, because that was.
But then we're reading here that maybe these little clay statues are a precursor to even that.
Yeah.
Does that put that at the back end of all this? Because some of those are so old and so widespread that those could have been, like pre Ice Age.
Yeah.
Like those could have been like from some sort of very old society then.
Dude, well, it might just be her too,
Well, yeah, I mean, they would all be like metamorphoses of it. It would be, but I'm trying to get back to, because it's like, then you could say God is her too, basically. I'm just trying to find where that seed is really planted, Yeah. Because these are all just linked back to something. I guess it just links back to some fucking alien is what they kind of say, right? But it's like
kind of what it seems like.
I don't know, right? I'm even dubious of that.
Well, that's the thing. I think alien is like a very like simple term for what this is. Yeah. And even like God is almost like too simple. It's like not. It's just like this is something bigger. Something
very old.
Much older, much larger.
Like, is it? I don't know. Then you get into like how like Mars probably had some weird shit on it back like millions of years ago. Is this somehow like? I mean, there's a bit of a time delay there where it's like I think that there was people on Mars back like pre-dinosaur stuff. So I don't know if the time really works out. But like, what the hell?
What's going on here? What is this?
What the hell is going on here?
What the hell is going on here? Yeah. I don't know, man. I wish someone could just tell me.
We'll bring in like
what the hell's going on with this shit, man.
We'll bring in a PhD sometime.
Yeah, we'll get like a real historian. Not a fake historian. Just one with the real truth, the real shit, the original.
The 8-pointed star was Inanna and Ishtar's most common symbol. Here it is shown alongside the solar disk of her brother Shamash and the crescent moon of her father Sin.
The solar disk.
Yeah. So what the hell is the solar disk? Let's pick that up.
Solar
it's just it's that classic, and the solar disk is just that radiant behind the head look of like, I guess. But see, this is, I mean, then that even got adopted into like Jesus basically having it behind it. But this is talking about some of the first gods having it behind them. Mm-hmm. The solar disk, 14th century BC.
Damn.
The fuck does that mean? I don't know how dates even work. Does it, Does that mean 14,000 BC, or does that mean?
I think it's 1400. I think it's 1400.
Okay, because I was gonna say that's because that's getting back into like.
That's a lot.
Pretty old, but that's getting back to like pretty much old.
Well, like some people are out there claiming that like the Sphinx and shit is like not 1200, but like 12,000 years old. You know what I mean? Like it's like
it's got old as hell on it.
There's like some shit. Yeah, there's like I don't know something about like rain erosion. It's like one of those like ancient apocalypse. It's just similar to Ancient Aliens almost, but it's like a pretty solid. Theory, I think. I'm not sure. I as far as I can know, I don't know that much though. But I like it. I think it's a pretty cool idea. That like this stuff, like the pyramids and the sphinxes and shit, and all those like monoliths were like found by the Egyptians, and they just like adopted it.
I mean, that's kind of sick. That's whether I like that theory or not. It's just like I like the idea of just like cool, coming across.
Yeah, they
megalithic structures.
Yeah.
Like that's a nuts idea. Just like, oh shit, what the?
That's like a whole idea with like a lot of shit where it's like people were like, there's this stuff was always here. It's here way longer than you think, and then it was just like covered up.
Well, yeah, you look at there's those pictures of like pyramids in Antarctica, like how old would that have to be? That's talking about continental drift on a vast scale to even to even put people down there at like a time when that would have been like a climate you could be at. I don't know.
No, exactly. Like, who knows, man? I have no fucking clue.
Fuck. You got anything else? We want to step back a little bit? I don't know.
Yeah. What else you got? What else we got here? We got really far in the past with that one.
I got beach movies.
Yeah, beach movies.
It's completely different. This is like just because I want to talk about it for so long now, for like a month now.
Yeah.
So I pulled it up at your house. Beach movies. If you look up Pajama Party 1964 beach movie, if you put that exact string of words together in YouTube, you're gonna get a movie. It's basically a genre. There's a genre. This is a horrible way to talk about this. It's a genre of movies in the 60s that came out that were just called beach movies, and it was more of a vibe than like there wasn't so much of an actual plot. There was usually musical guests introduced like halfway. There was like dance numbers, like just totally unprompted. Scenes. But this is also before like the hippie movement in the 70s, so there was no. It was still weird.
It reminds me of like Bollywood. Almost.
Yeah, it's coming off of. It's kind of it was.
There's Good Bollywood movies. Don't get me wrong, but it's like that, like kind of
all the
like,
danciness, all the singiness of it.
Yeah, of like things just happen.
Yeah,
it's really like outlandish.
Like, but I just like because it was at this weird intersection of time where there wasn't. Like I guess just like hippies, which is like especially back then.
It is an interesting snapshot of like
so
that
like
time
the
of culture.
So
too.
like the counterculture that goes against like whatever like the preppy kids in the movie is like greaser characters, like you know, which don't seem out of place in the 60s necessarily, but it's like they definitely do also. Like they look like they're coming out of the 40s, like 100% when they're driving around on their little cycles.
It's like almost just silly.
It is silly. It's like they're looking for like a villain, and it's like I guess.
Well, because they're like villains, but it's like they seem so like soft still.
Mm-hmm. Well, because the entire movie is just, like,
the like protagonist, I guess. Because there's not even that much of a plot.
Well,
like,
no, okay,
but you know, like one people they're the bad guys still. There's like the good guys.
You're forgetting about the entire alien plot. Because here's the thing:
too.
Beach movies they were all set on the beach, so. There was tons of these scenes coming out.
Alien
so the plots,
bizarre.
The plots after a while had to go kind of nuts. So basically, about 3 minutes into this movie, which is so far just people dancing around a pool, you cut to this inside of an alien ship, which is
a spaceship somewhere.
which is the 60s. So it's like dark red with like steam everywhere. Everybody's wearing silver, and you get like it cuts to them watching a screen of these kids.
They're just watching.
Yeah,
they're watching.
So there's a pretty good alien subplot, but it's also like superfluous, and I don't know if it even really gets dealt with in the end.
Really, why?
Yeah,
they're watching. They're watching, and then every now and then it cuts back to them, and they're like reviewing it.
It's very interesting. If you're gonna watch one, I'd say Pajama Party 1964. Also, because this one, here's a little tie-in to horror stuff. This is the one that has Elsa Lanchester in it.
Yeah.
Who's the bride of Frankenstein? I'm actually not wearing the shirt. I was ready to.
Not wearing the shirt. I'm not wearing it either, but
Elsa Lanchester was like the chick.
She's the babe.
She's the babe.
They got lots of babes, lots of hunks.
Yeah, if you want a movie just full of hot bodies, just full of hot bodies.
That's the thing, man. People don't just naturally look like that anymore.
Well, yeah. Well, this is your grandparents going to a drive-in to watch this. They just want to see that. They want to be able to make out. A bunch of hard bodies also making out on screen.
But yeah, we're presidential fitness test.
I just thought that was it. My brother told me about beach movies.
I'm into it.
Nice, interesting.
It's such a like bizarre thing. Like there's like I don't know, because if I'm gonna I like overanalyze things, and I'm finding the messages. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like the like predictive programming. You know that where they like put little things in movies to like prepare you for like. Things to happen. Like, what is it? Back to the Future. Back to the Future.
Sure, yeah.
Obviously. There's I don't know. It might be like doing too much, but there's like some little Easter eggs for like 9/11.
Sure.
And that. And it's like, there's like some predictive programming with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Are you just talking about like series of numbers coming up on the screen at different times and stuff?
Yeah. And like certain things like having certain names and like the place where they're at. I don't know. It's like, it's all interesting, but,
this is people coming off of like the Korean War. I want to say like this is an interesting time in America. Like this is definitely if they're going to be somewhere like
in that point they're almost as far away from like 9/11 as like World War II and the atom bomb getting dropped. You know what I mean? They're about like 20 years out after we dropped nukes on Japan. Mm-hmm. And this is like what
20 years after. Or 20 years before, or 40 years before, like 9/11. Yeah, it is an interesting time. And so, I guess if it's like, and people weren't simpler back then, but it's like, you don't have the fucking internet to do all this stuff.
Vietnam's like barely started.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe not anything yet.
I mix up when those two happened exactly, but basically, if you're going to try to shove like ideas like liminally through a population, I guess if there's going to be just suddenly a whole beach movie genre, which isn't even a real genre. This is something that they just made. I guess like 40 of these things within like 2 years.
Well, everything was like the beach.
Then it's like
everything was all about the beach, like then Beach Boys, all that shit.
Well, and every musical act in this thing is a Beach Boys, like basically.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that was like the hot thing. Which part of me too is like it's weird, but it's also like it makes sense because if you like listen to like even pop music now, it like just it's a bunch of like buzzwords almost. Like it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just a bunch of buzzwords to like of whatever's like trendy at the time.
Well, dude, you don't need to. It's spells, man. It's words.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Fucking spells.
So like, and that's like how you like.
It's
as like
images.
A magician, you're controlling culture with these different spells and different media. Also, dude, something else. I've been listening to some stuff and like what Satan's like the god of music.
Yeah.
That's why like everyone's like, you like sell your soul to the devil.
Got that golden fiddle.
To get in the music industry, you sell your soul to the devil. And it's like, and obviously like these are like dots you can connect almost immediately. But I'm like, it like clicked in my head. I was like, whoa.
There are some really intense like Christian sects that are be like no music.
Yeah,
they're like don't do that because you would never consort with the devil in that way.
That's like like electric magic.
Aruba, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Who I want to take you? Bermuda. You jump in anytime. Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. All right. Well, it's right there. I'm instantly transported. Right? Yeah. You can't help but even say the rest of it. You're basically
dialed
being
into
programmed.
that song came out so long before.
All I want to do is take you to Aruba now. Or Jamaica.
Yeah. Nah, all that shit, dude.
Or the Bahamas, pretty mama. Me and this round pound of pound going to Aruba. Damn.
Dude, that would be sick. We should go to Aruba. That'd be awesome.
Dude, speaking of this is actually...
Why don't you subscribe to the Patreon, and we can get go live from Aruba.
If we could get a couple more pennies in the well over the Patreon.
We'll give you live content from Aruba.
Dude, well, serendipitous or synchronicities. The Beach Boys, like some sort of weird documentary or docu-series about them came up on Disney Plus or something just a week ago. Like separately from this study of mine that I was doing.
Yeah.
And now we're just thinking about it. So maybe I'll put like a little tag in the for more views. Hashtag Beach Boys on this thing.
Hashtag Beach Boys.
I don't know. Fucking spells.
I'm fascinated by it, dude. I'm fascinated by it. It's interesting because I think because for me, I think the more I learn about it, the more I'm able to like guard myself from it without
Beach
like
Boys
completely. Yeah, the Beach Boys because they're coming after me.
The more I learn, the easier I can guard from them.
Yeah, I'm trying to just keep myself safe from
dude,
these
the documentaries
spells.
came out. They're coming after us.
They're trying to fucking get me, dude. Beach Boys want my soul. Yeah. They're trying to get my fucking soul, man. But I don't know. Yeah, the more I can just like be aware of that kind of shit, the less I feel like I'm getting possessed by something or like hypnotized by something. You know?
Dude, the problem is,
but I can still enjoy it, you know. But I'm like, all right.
For me and many other Americans, I enjoy nostalgia more than anything else.
And we're talking
for
about
some
like,
reason, the feeling of being back in time is way better than almost anything in current times. So I think, like, speaking of like spells and things, like hearing
nostalgia is a heavy spell,
hearing
dude. That's a heavy type of magic.
Yeah. Well, back I think what was it like in like Ireland or Scotland back in some very old war, not very old, but back in some wars in like the fucking 1800s. I think that like they were calling that they were like nostalgia was like a sickness that people that the men at the fucking front lines were feeling. They were like getting like diagnosed with like
nostalgia, extreme
nostalgia.
They were like losing their mind.
Yeah, they're like, I need to go back.
Well, just here's this this is something just like a cool, quick little fact I remember reading, and it's like how it's something that like made me aware of how powerful nostalgia and like how you can use nostalgia to like manipulate people. But so it was like Japan, I think they weren't like into coffee or anything. Coffee wasn't really part of their culture. Like, you didn't really drink coffee in Japan. No one really had a taste for it. But there was this coffee company that figured out if they created a coffee-flavored candy. And they, like, all these kids got hooked on it.
Okay.
And then once they became adults, the nostalgic flavor of that coffee candy made them want, like coffee then. Mm-hmm. And then they, like, became, like, this huge, like, Starbucks of Japan because they, like, using this... They, like, had this, like... 30-year plan to like plant like nostalgic taste to like get people like
I love a long-term plan.
Yeah, no, and I'm like
the Dune sense.
Dude, if that's not fucking some shit that's happening to all of us, man, dude. I mean, holy shit.
On a very small scale.
You think it's not happening to you, dude? It's happening.
We've been all sucking on that coffee candy.
What do you think, Pokemon, dude? You think that's just like not to fucking get you nostalgia? You think Dragon Ball Z is just like, you think that's just for fun? It is, but it's also like
they killed Akira Toriyama on purpose.
There's some shit going on. Man.
We're gonna die because in like 5 years we're definitely gonna like as a culture celebrate his birth as like an anime culture. We're gonna
it'll be a holiday.
Well, every year we will, but I think at some points the reverence like outweighs even like demand, and it's like okay, we're having Akira Toriyama Day. We're gonna give each other presents.
Like nostalgia is so big at this point, especially with like people our age that are like people are having kids like around our age with that like same like millennial area of like. Nostalgia, like their kids are getting raised on that. They're same nostalgia.
It's crazy. You're creating
It's like a cultural religion now, where it's like, if you're a kid and you go to a public school and you're in elementary school and you're like, I don't like Pokemon. I'm not into this or that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't watch Disney movies. You're like an outcast. You like aren't gonna get the jokes. You're not gonna get like the humor. You're not gonna get like the references of anything.
The sacred clowns of our generation, if I should ever say so.
That's the thing. Is like I think this like nostalgic like kind of prison that we get stuck in. It creates a much more need for these like chaotic clowns.
You want
to like break free from it and like
like
break the glass ceiling of this culture and open it up.
So literally like there's like they talk about like the cycle of fucking there's like that's what is it? The cycle of some shit. Just like I guess rebirth, re-death, like coming back, and then like that idea of like trying to escape it and like whatever, break away from that like that false light at the end.
Yeah.
But like I guess just bringing it into this idea, like that like cyclical like idea of like how like some people perceive or some religions or some whatever how that might be the case of how like reality works, like. We are like so, I guess like it's just like the iPhone thing where it's like we're so like clicking on things so fast that it's like we can't even wait for the next cycle to get back into our childhood shit. Like we're like, let me fucking reincarnate right now. I'm 30. I want to be fucking 3.
You know, yeah.
Like,
and dude,
I'm not even giving
that brings
myself
you
time
back to the
fucking...
29-year-old girl that's physically healthy and commits suicide. She's like ready, fucking. She's like, I'm ready to go back.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that. It's like nostalgic for like pre-life.
It's like instead of killing
is that
her,
what suicide
she just
is?
gets
It's
into
like
the pod and it just plays like the Pokemon theme song.
Is that what suicide is? Is nostalgia for pre-life? Is that maybe what's going on?
It's a really heavy thought. It's a really harsh,
I don't know, man.
It's a harsh thought. You're not wrong.
I don't know. I don't want to be like I don't know like hurt anyone's feeling. It's just like a different way to like view it. I guess is like. We don't know we have no idea what death is, but like, there's like an idea of pre-life, you know, of like pre-consciousness.
Well, yeah. I love having this whole thing in suicide to just push so many viewers away or listen to it immediately. Yeah. But that's what we were talking about even last week was like babies are so like they were like the Maudlin, they have children and they were like they were talking about how these kids like sometimes you look at them it's like they got
babies see you and they're
seeing stuff like way beyond because it's like they're
like I remember you from the fucking pool of souls.
The soul pool, yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
I remember
you like last soul
wasn't that long ago actually.
But it's like they're looking at you and it's like, yeah, last time around when we were in like bodies, like we were like best friends. Like I was your nurse that like put like what I was like there on the last day before you died. Like I don't know. It's weird like how like souls come back around. It's like shit. That's also I also get in that whole fucking there was a really good X-Files episode that goes a little like long and deep and like it's kind of like maybe like not the best one to just like be like I don't know, it's like not something you just sit down and watch and be like super excited, but it's like it's just Mulder finds like Mulder like solves the death of this person who in another life they were like married or like mother child and like he just found they're like in this like cycle of like death and rebirth and it's like one of the last lines is like it's just like maybe we'll see like who knows like how we'll see each other again in a different time. Dude, that shit fucks me up real bad.
No.
It gets me looking at my dog in a bad way. I'm like, dude, were we like...
No,
were you
like
my grandma when we were fucking Neanderthals?
Like, what? Yeah.
What is it?
You're like my grandma's, like, great-grandma?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like...
and you're like my male cat.
It's like, were we both King Tut?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we were both Joan of Arc, right?
Pretty sure we're Cleopatra.
When you get your soul read, and it's like, yeah, everybody was Cleopatra at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'll take if our souls are all. There's the idea that your soul cycles through every vessel. Well, but then like at the end of that, then you get clear finally, and it's like I guess that would mean your soul's going back and forth in time, which is I'm okay with that. I guess.
Yeah, experience everyone's perspective.
You like that?
I do like that. That is like because like to your soul, time isn't even real.
Oh fuck!
You know?
Don't
so
even.
Like, so like we're the same soul
again. You gotta
experiencing
say that
things in a different like time. Yeah.
To your soul, time isn't real.
Yeah, the soul, dude. Time ain't real to the soul.
I'm gonna tattoo that on me.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, Mulder would cry.
Yeah, dude. That shit gets me fired up.
You know what? Dogs know that.
Oh, dogs know that. They have no idea what time is. Dogs are pure souls.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to get on this whole we love dogs thing.
Yeah.
I fucking hate when people are all like, my dog is my entire life.
Yeah, it's like,
but hey, my dog's my entire
life. It is, though. It is.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, dog, dude, it is.
Yeah. No, because I'm
like,
rule, man.
Yeah, I had a lot of good dog time.
It's like, yeah, me and my dog were both Cleopatra. Obviously, we're in love.
Duh.
Stupid.
You get it? You're a Cleopatra, too.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, you and me and my dog were all Cleopatra.
So now we're here. Now we're doing this.
The best part about that is when people like reference her. I feel like when you're like 13 and you reference her, you think you're talking about like ancient Egypt. She was like that's pretty recent history. She was like
not that far ago.
She's the daughter of like what's the lineage on that? Can I bring that up?
Yeah, let's check this out.
Let me just spell this.
I do know like Cleopatra like she was like around like the time of Christ basically.
Yeah, mid 1st century BC. Dude, okay, I like that, Das. Cleopatra and Jesus were on together.
Yeah,
does that make Jesus seem more like? Hey, but then why the fuck doesn't Jesus have all this real life data if he's around from the same time? This chick seems more made up than Jesus, but we have way more information on her being actually here.
Exactly. You know,
right? I don't want to sound like a bitch.
No, yeah. I don't want to. That's the thing is like, yeah, I hate denouncing
any human never existed. All right, I don't want to be like Dawson never existed. Like if Jesus was here, he would hate for me to be saying that he was never a person.
No,
it's very demeaning.
He was probably real, dude. I
don't
think he was as big of a deal.
Then it's the classic like he was actually probably an amalgamation of like fucking 15 different wandering priests of like this ancient religion.
Well, that is the thing is like because like he's there's like even in just like the Bible he's around. There's like stories about him until he's like 13 and then he like disappears till he's like 30.
Well, also like.
And so, like
10 different dudes from very different time periods wrote about him. Like,
yeah. No, he was like that was the thing.
So that's what I mean.
There's theories he like went to like Japan and China.
Well, did I have that pulled up? Fuck, let me pull that up.
Yeah.
Jesus,
no, because it was like I don't know, man.
Oh, fuck, all my best tabs fucking disappear.
You gotta just never delete your tabs.
Well, yeah, there's literally like an explosion of like 40 tabs, and it's like my computer is just like failing on me. Okay.
No, but that's like one of my favorite Jesus theories is that he like just like traveled the whole world and like learned like Chinese medicine and like Japanese like different like Zen
I was like
arts and shit and just like came back as like an enlightened one.
Like I think somehow that mad Zen monk somehow tied into that. Like I think he I don't know exactly, but this little known legend of Jesus in Japan. This is from the Smithsonian.
Like he probably like went
Smithsonian
and visited like Vikings and shit. You know, I don't know. I think he was all over the.
Well, here's one idea. He was a time traveler.
There's an idea.
That. What if he's from the future? He set himself up real good. And then like by the time he comes in the future, now that he like set it up, and he's like, yeah, you can praise me. That's fine.
It's almost like Benny Gesserit shit, where it's like, all right, we got to go in the past and set this fucking cultural religion.
Now, I've read up to I think the furthest I haven't read all the Dune books, but like as far as like historically, like I think I've read the farthest into the future.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and this is kind of an anti-spoiler, I guess. I don't think, because this could be anything. Like they could not say anything. They could not say everything, basically. But I don't think the Bene Gesserit ever said they were from the future, time traveling backwards. I don't think that's a theory that was ever fucked around with. But I
don't think time travel was really like a part of like Dune at all. It was more like seeing into the future and seeing into the past, but not actually going there.
But what's the difference, man? If your soul doesn't feel time,
that's the thing.
Especially if you're experiencing every soul.
Well, if you're gonna go experience all the past, then you can kind of like shape what history even is. Then, you know, by like just like, the current like knowledge of it. You know, like I don't know. I'm trying to articulate a fucking idea.
Yeah, no,
my brain's not even ready.
You're doing good. Dawson's seeing that I'm just like trying to read something, so he's just trying to talk for a little bit longer.
Like, fucking.
That's okay.
Trying to keep an idea going.
This episode's gonna need a little bit of editing because I didn't plan it out at all.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with like cutting the shittiest parts out.
Yes.
Okay. So here's a little bit about Jesus in Japan from the Smithsonian. It is like folklore from a pretty small little rural like village, I guess, but
yeah.
Like, for example, it says, it turns out that Jesus of Nazareth, the Messiah, what the fuck, worker of miracles and spiritual figurehead. Why does it talk? This is funny. This is the only article I've ever read that seems like I don't know who Jesus is. It's like this, right? Yeah. So I'm going to read this again. Pretend you don't know who Jesus is. This is going to really break it down for you. It turns out that Jesus of Nazareth, the Messiah, worker of miracles and spiritual figurehead for one of the world's foremost religions, did not die on the crosses at Calvary, as widely reported.
Okay.
So if you didn't know who Jesus was, that kind of breaks it down pretty good. Spiritual figurehead. I guess he is. That makes him seem like, I don't know.
Yeah.
According to an amusing local folklore, that was his kid. Okay, so Jesus had a younger brother named Isukiri. And then Isukiri's severed ear is in some burial mound in Japan next to Jesus's burial mound in Japan, also in Japan. Okay, so let me see.
Well, because dude, Christianity is like just in Japan for some reason.
Yeah,
well, it just like showed up there like way long ago.
Also, it's like if Jesus was like one singular dude that like went on to like try like he definitely would have had to go and study every fucking religion that he could. Like,
exactly.
it says, the Japanese are mostly Buddhist or Shinto, and so he would have went over to learn these kind of things.
Yeah. That's just like an interesting, like, weird niche folklore that they have. It's like, Jesus died here.
Here you go.
Obviously.
Jesus first came to Japan at the age of 21 to study theology. So these are in those forgotten years. This was during his so-called lost years. Yeah, a 12-year gap unaccounted for in the New Testament. So he landed at the west coast port of, Amino-Hashidate.
That's good. I like that. That was good.
A spit of land that juts across Miyazu Bay, and became a disciple of the great master near Mount Fuji, learning the Japanese language and Eastern culture. At age 33, he returned to Judea by way of Morocco to talk up what a museum brochure calls the sacred land that he just visited. Okay, so that's kind of a choppy read, but he returned. Yeah, he goes there. He fucking returns, I guess, through Morocco. Interesting. That's fucking interesting.
That's so
Having run afoul of the Rome, and this is from the SmithsonianMagazine.com. Having run afoul of the Roman authorities, Jesus was arrested and condemned to the crucifixion for heresy, but he cheated the exorcisms. Okay, yeah. He didn't get exercised. He wasn't a demon.
Nah.
He cheated the executioners by trading places with the unsung, but not unremembered Isukiri. So I guess he maybe changed places with his brother. To escape persecution, Jesus fled back to the promised land of Japan with 2 keepsakes. One of his siblings' ears and a lock of the Virgin Mary's hair. God, that's so sick.
His mom's hair.
Yeah. His own mother's hair. Who, like, maybe was also his wife. And it's like, not his wife, but like, they just, sometimes they're talked about as like having a relationship. Maybe this is even where Isukiri could have come from. Unless, it sounds like he has a more Japanese name than Jesus, though, so it's possible this is from somebody in Japan that he got this brother. I don't know what Mary was doing. It's hard when she conceived too. It's tough. That's different.
Yeah.
And the alternate second coming ended after he sailed to.
He trekked across the frozen wilderness of Siberia to Alaska, a journey of 4 years, 6,000 miles, and innumerable privations.
What the?
And then the
fuck?
second coming, this alternative second coming ended after he sailed
Hachinohe. He sailed to Hachinohe.
Ox cart ride from Shingo.
So just like 40 miles.
Man, that is nuts.
Upon reaching the village, Jesus retired to a life of exile, adopting a new identity and raising a family. He is said to have lived out his natural life, ministering to the needy. He sported a balding gray pate, a coat of many folds, and a distinctive nose, which the museum brochure observes earned him the reputation of long-nosed goblin. So I gotta bleep that.
So is that this like anti-Semitic?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's, I guess if you, I don't want to have to dig into that. Go somewhere else. When Jesus died, his body was left exposed on a hilltop for 4 years. In keeping with the customs of the time, his bones were then bundled and buried in a grave, the same mound of earth that is now topped by a timber cross and surrounded by a picket fence. Though the Japanese Jesus performed no miracles, one could be forgiven for wondering whether he ever turned water into sake. That's definitely gonna believe that stupid joke out. This is all. It sounds. Yeah. Okay. Now it's just going into exposition.
Yeah.
Kind of
that's ridiculous, dude. That is like one of those like really nuts stories where I'm like, it's so crazy that maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If we're just talking about the 12-year gap, if he was real. Mm-hmm. That they didn't feel like filling out in the Bible, which is pretty fucking long and gets pretty detailed at some points. And I feel like if we're kind of talking about
he's like the guy,
the Bible's golden boy.
If he's the guy, so you're just gonna
the Bible's golden boy.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, someone should have been writing about that, especially if there's
in his like most formative years,
like
too.
5 dudes
from like when he like is 13.
Half the book is devoted to this dude.
Yeah, man.
Why did we miss so much of his life?
He's like the savior. Everyone like praises Jesus Christ, and it's like we don't even know half his fucking life. He was 33 when he died. There's like 12 years unaccounted for. That's like almost half of his life. That's crazy.
Okay, and then this one's saying that we're missing 18 years of his life. Well, yeah, from 12 to 30. I mean, what, 30?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, man.
I hate this.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking ideas on this shit.
No, this is all good. It just like it all folds into like goofy documentaries I watch with my dad, like about like the real Jesus and stuff, and like it's just so much to parse.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and then I'm like, I don't know, doesn't matter. It's kind of interesting.
Okay, so some scholars believe that Jesus' father Joseph died when he was about 12, and that this traumatic event could have been the catalyst for him, still as a young boy, to begin a personal quest to attain spiritual enlightenment. The walkabout, lasting nearly 2 decades, may have been started shortly after he was 13 years old.
The 2-decade walkabout.
Yeah, it is at this vulnerable age that the alleged missing years began. Then they have multiple theories. So, let's see.
The Vatican Secrets.
The Vatican Secrets.
Yeah,
Some researchers believe that he spent these undocumented years visiting Britain with one of Joseph of Arimathea, while others believed he was traveling to India and Persia.
Yeah.
And then, like we just read, like he went to Japan by way of like Alaska. I don't know. We read there was Alaska in that last sentence at one time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then there's like someone talking about like a Russian traveler finds genuine texts in a monastery in India that prove that Jesus traveled and taught. This one says. Well, I guess, and if you get to Japan, if you're going to Japan, you're probably going to travel through India.
Well, that's why it says it went through all of like Morocco and that stuff. Yeah. Which is, well, then it's like, then he meets.
That's like the path, right?
Yeah. That is the path. Like that is where you're going to get a lot of spiritual stuff going through there.
But it's like, damn, that's it.
This is a weird one though. Him going to Britain.
Yeah.
With Joseph, who is a tin trader. Some believe that it was also his uncle. Although other canonical gospel texts describe him mainly as a rich man and disciple of Jesus. So basically just like Jesus' sugar uncle.
Yeah.
A great degree of literature has been written about this particular tale, taking it into the realms of tradition, so that by the 15th century, Glastonbury in Somerset was touted as the birthplace of British Christianity. Joseph was believed to have erected the first church there to house the Holy Grail. Oh, fucking God. Are we doing this now? There was also an account that Joseph of Arimathea had earlier visited Glastonbury with Jesus as a child. So Jesus maybe also went to Britain when he was like 6. Which inspired artist and poet William Blake to compose a poem that became the words to the English hymn Jerusalem. That goes as such. And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountain green? And was the Lamb of God on England's pleasant pasture seen? What the fuck?
Man, this shit's just nuts, man. I lose my mind.
Like that? And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountain green? And was that Lamb of God on England's pleasant pasture green? Seen? I can't do poems.
Yeah.
You get it though.
Yeah.
Then he
William Blake, that's like that's very famous stuff, dude.
And then it automatically ties into the Holy Grail stuff.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Because then you get up to Britain with it.
Yeah, and it's like.
But that's like.
That's like I don't know, man.
Okay. The Mysterious Tale of the Holy Grail. And this part is from history.co.uk. And I like these articles are from like the Smithsonian and from the History website.
Yeah,
so
I guess this is like credible, right?
We're not very far down the rabbit hole, apparently. This should be common knowledge out there. You all probably know about this. This is just like
what they have as like, they're like, here's the stories.
Yeah. So the mysterious tale of the Holy Grail and its existence in England may have been embellished by a story circulating by the 15th century that Joseph of Arimathea had brought 2 silver flasks containing Christ's blood to Britain, and that these relics were buried in his grave. Oh. So where is Joseph of Arimathea buried? Because he might have Jesus' blood in there with him. Despite the story having evolved into shades of King Arthur and his legendary knights, there have never been any record of a shrine marking the exact spot of the grave. So there's a missing grave with Jesus' blood in it. Mm-hmm. I like that.
That almost reminds me of it's like, how would you hide like the most toxic place?
Yeah.
How would you hide the most like something people aren't supposed to get, like the Holy Grail on fucking unmarked grave.
Unmarked grave. It's just buried somewhere.
Just buried somewhere.
Well, we were talking about then it's the fucking that technology, that drone flyover technology that'll find it eventually. Then right. Just like, can we set it to like 2 silver flasks and see if it finds the blood? Yeah, that would definitely prove he's real. I mean, I don't know.
He's something, right?
That gets really fun if we can fuck with Jesus' blood. Like if we can DNA test his blood, because then you immediately get to know if like Titans are real. Then you get to know like, because what
that was.
Who would it be? 100% his mother Mary's DNA? Like
right? Yeah.
Or like. Is he only part God spiritually, or is there like literally like Yahweh DNA like in the helix of his blood, like in the cells?
Maybe.
That'd be fun.
Also, like how how much would you even be able to get out of like 2,000-year-old blood?
I don't know. They're talking about like bringing woolly mammoths back and shit because they have like.
That's the thing. It's like I don't know.
Look at Jurassic Park and Jesus.
And dude, well, that's the thing about Jesus' blood.
I like that idea.
Yeah, dude.
Just Jurassic Parking Jesus to create the second coming, manufacturing the second coming by creating a baby Jesus from.
Or is that how you get the Antichrist?
I mean, that is how you get the Antichrist.
I think that's how you get it.
But this is all flavors of a lot of different movies.
I think the Vatican is like pretty into trying to do that kind of
There was like 3 different movies out this year that had that plot, but I'm putting in a little Jurassic Park in there.
I think it's more Jurassic Park.
It's not just these cults, because a lot of them have these like 10,000-year-old cults keeping these purities and these knowledges.
Yeah.
But I like just pure science. They say that there's a saint's bone buried in every Every truly Catholic church has to have a saint's bone buried in the main altar.
Wow.
Like under the main altar.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
there's like little teeth or some shit in like all of them. I don't know
I know the Vatican has like a bunch of different shit like that.
Yeah, like I don't know if that goes all the way to like Holman, Wisconsin, where like you went to a Catholic church, but like I know that's
I don't think that one had it.
But like but maybe. But if it actually if it was actually connected to like if they actually connected to like the Pope at all, like if it was underneath that actual branch, then they would have had to like become affiliated by it.
I remember like the bishop coming to it and shit.
Yeah, so like there was probably weirder shit. Like not to say like I don't want to call it whatever fucking dumbass church that is, but like I don't know. Like I would say even speak about like small town Americana stuff, like these weird vampire places. Like that's where you're gonna.
Tell you, man.
That's where, dude. It's in the churches, man. It's in these ancient fucking. It's these secret Vatican things, you know.
Yeah, man.
Dude.
Yeah, man. Because
when we went to New Orleans, fucking
dude. It's
we went to New Orleans. There's an old church there. If you look up, people have heard of the Coffin Girls at this point. They're kind of a popular story. It was these like when they first had all these people trying to fucking tame New Orleans, I guess as it would be called. It was mostly just a bunch of like really ugly dudes.
Yeah.
Like swashbuckling fellas, you know, New Orleans type. Not ugly. They're beautiful in their way.
Swamp guys.
This is pre-Cajun, honestly. This is like, but it's like, but they were like hard-working folk, like in the mud, down in the Mississippi mud, and like in the swamp. This is 17th century gator wrestling, you know. But so they were like they shipped over some broads, but like they were truly like broads. They like by the time they got to America, they were so like gaunt and like skeletal looking and like pale.
Yeah.
When they got off the ship, they all were called the Coffin Girls, which is just its own story. But then like. There are talks kind of separately from that, but there's always they all tie together somehow. But there's a church down there, one of the oldest churches, obviously fucking in America, I suppose. But and you can walk by it still. When actually me and Maya did some ghost hunting outside of it, we got some very interesting things. But the second floor, all the windows are fucking blotted out.
Yeah.
And there's a literal Vatican vampire prison up there. There's actually like a sanctioned by the Vatican. There's like a vampire prison up there that may or may not hold like said vampires. Just interesting. Just to tie it all.
Trying to find out.
Yeah. Better.
Kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I don't know, man. I can't prove it. I can't disprove it. I'm gonna just play it safe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need to get vampires out. I don't need to be the one to let it out.
Yeah. Well, they're already out.
But
That's just one.
There's plenty out there. There's plenty out there. But
that
again,
kid,
dude, I swear I was seeing vampires, man.
Well, I'd say I'm trying to. We're actually tying it into a really nice bow right now.
Yeah. We've kind of come full circle on the suicide, vampires.
Vatican, it's all folding into one thing, like ancient American towns,
Took a long
like whatever.
journey on that one, yeah.
That's what it is though. Like that's where you're gonna find this weird stuff, and like, not to say, and like again, it's like Christianity, any religion really. I'm all over the place with, but like, I don't know, man. That's just like. There's a reason people pray, and sometimes you pray to like get something good, and sometimes it's like to keep bad away. And if you believe in that even for 1 second, if you're like someone that actually believes in like prayer for like luck or like for like for like a like protection, that means that it's protection from something. Like there's like an opposite end of that, and it's like how far you want to take that. It's like either that's like just a feeling or like a spiritual energy, or it's literally fucking ancient vampires running around the fucking West. Like at some point it's all the same thing, or it's like it's been tamed down, or like they've literally like I don't know, like the Vatican's been around for fucking a long time. Like if they wanted to have a series of fucking straight up vampire hunters, which I'm sure there's a bunch of good books about. Like, they can do that, and they could be on, literally on Christ's dime. They could be on the people putting money into the fucking, the fucking poppet, whatever that thing is. Like, it's not, once you put money into the church, you don't trace it.
No.
It's like, hey, we're sending these kids to Africa to build a house, to build a school, and also we're sending about $2 million over to the vampire hunting sector. Yeah. We got a little bit of Jesus' blood in one of the.
Some military
we did actually hunt down Jesus' blood in those flasks. Those silver flasks with Jesus' blood, pretty powerful vampire deterrents.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, those probably work really good. There's probably one of those in the second floor of the New Orleans fucking vampire prison. If I'm being honest,
probably
like the fact that they
right on the door,
any like also I will say any like trinket or like ancient, like say like the Holy Grail, this like these flasks of Jesus blood, which seem not as popular as they should be, to my liking. I'm gonna really hold the fucking torch for those things now. But I feel like almost any of these like ancient tools, even like we're talking, if you want to go back to like God weapons, we like to talk about those. Like if we know about them, I'd say there's a 90% chance that somebody has them. They're like locked away somewhere.
And
like
that means that if we know about some of that shit, that means it was so famous.
Yeah.
Like I was just thinking, like Excalibur, is Excalibur, was Excalibur fucking cast with like some of Jesus' blood?
Yeah.
Is that like something that's gonna happen? That's why,
Dude,
and
they
it's
probably
like
just melted the silver flask down.
Is like the vampire prison, or those like is the like metal holding it in? Is like
copper
change? Is that?
I assume it's copper.
It's probably copper, and it's probably got a little Jesus' blood in it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
I'm getting so mad over here.
If I was the Vatican and I had fucking access to Jesus' blood, I'm probably gonna protect things, use it to fight vampires. But also, I have a little theory that like vampires have fully infiltrated the Vatican.
That's the other thing. They
they have like the second coming of Christ
the anime called
locked up. Yeah,
there's an anime called Hellsing.
Which
is kind of is this, but like what it's like. But it's
real?
No, yeah. So I think
Kinda
even
real, I think.
if they were controlling it, then they would also have a sect to destroy the quote unquote threat to like throw off the scent, obviously.
Yeah.
So like that still fits in play.
Certain like Christianity, like certain churches, it's almost like inverted. Like they say like the Bible and all these like different things, but they're greedy, judgmental, they're like wrathful, like they're like all the cardinal sins, but it's like they're preaching like in this name, and it's all inverted. Like
dude, every church has a basement, man.
Man. That's the thing, is like the devil is not going to try to convince you that Jesus isn't real. He's going to try to convince you that he's Jesus.
I'm starting to really believe Jesus is real.
I don't know, man.
Based on how much we're talking about vampires right now,
dude, I know, man.
I'm really getting back into the whole Jesus thing.
I think Jesus is pretty real. I don't know.
Could Jesus turn into a bat?
Maybe. It's not in the Bible, but man, maybe that's what he was doing for 12 years. Man, he was able to travel fucking all over the world, turn into a bat to fly around.
On the third day, he rose again as a bat.
As a bat.
Oh man.
I mean, Just leave it at that.
I'm getting
Just leave it at that.
I'm getting sick.
Fuck.
The bow's untied again. Whatever we tied off nicely is now a Pandora.
No, it's
Pandora's bag.
Yeah, no.
Fucking Pandora's
Pandora's
drawstring
grail,
bag.
dude. Pandora's fucking grail,
Oh
dude.
God, it is. I want it though.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah. Okay, what do we
We
at?
go forever.
We had time wise because this is gonna be hard to create a through line to any of this.
Yeah, man.
This is good.
we just have a long one.
I'm gonna just leave it at like.
Good. Just.
I just needed to vent. I told you I was like we've had.
Me too, man. I had a whole week of shit I got to talk about. I had a lot of thoughts the whole
We've
time.
had these guests on, and I love that, but I didn't have enough time for me, even though it was so much of me talking.
Bunch of bullshit I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Join us soon for more guest stuff if you're still
back.
listening. But
we'll probably be retouching a lot of these.
Right now, I'm going to safely grab the strings to the Pandora's bag, and I'm going to close it up as best I can until tomorrow. We're going to do this tomorrow.
Yeah, we can do it tomorrow.
Cool. Anything you wanted to talk about before we get the hell out of here?
I don't know, man. I don't think I got it.
It's good having you.
Yeah, dude. Nice. Thanks, Dubby, again. Thanks, Dubby.
Thanks, Dubby. Yeah, let's get right into the plugs then.
That got me going nuts. So
it
that's
pumped
sweet.
us for an hour and a half. Yeah, an hour and a half straight.
I had a lot of energy for after working since 5 a.m. this morning.
You did work a double, then come here, drink the Dubby,
and I'm
pop off
back in it, dude.
2 hours of psycho shit. You want to just read this here, Dawson?
Oh yeah. Check out partner Dubby and support us by.
You don't have to read it exactly how I typed it because I missed a lot of words.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, special code StarMother at checkout, 10% off.
Again, that's code StarMother at
Dubby.
That's dubby.gg.
Dubby.gg, baby.
Look that up.
Get it.
Email us at pumpkinhillradio@gmail.com.
Yeah, 5
You can
stars.
also send us a text now. If you look at the bottom of the episode description, you can text us. That's interesting.
Let's get into it.
5 stars everywhere you see it, no less. If you have some concerns, reach out. Take a look around the Red Temple. That's our Etsy store. That's pumpkinhillradio.etsy.com. Code SECRET for 25% off over 25 orders of $25 or more. Also, right now there's a whole Father's Day sale across all of Etsy, and I joined in, and I'm getting quite a bit. I made more sales than I have in the past 3 months, in the past 2 days on that, just because it was happening. So if you want some good deals, check it out. I'm gonna put more stuff up if I can pretty soon. That's our Etsy. Again, check out the Dubby thing, Pumpkin Hill Radio. That's us. I've been your host, Travis Wormwood.
Yeah.
Co-host
Dawson Trailer, baby.
Nice. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time, gang.
See ya.